What's up, people? You know what's crazy? About a couple of lives ago, I think 2 lives ago, when I was on here, I was talking about my cat, Yin Tiger, Lil Yin. And he got the zoomies and he's everywhere. He's out and about right now, right under me. Come here. Look at him. This guy's like a little explorer. Well, here you go. Chill. But what's going on, my peoples? What is going on with y'all? We're gonna start soon. I'm about to probably like kick him out the room. Yeah, you might have to go. You might have to go, bro. Come here. Come here. Let's go. I'll be back, people. I'll be back. Come on, Yin. All right. Man. Alrighty. All right, I'm back. Okay. Let's get straight into it. Enough killing time. But, man, I wanted to talk about today with as advances in technology increase, you will notice that loneliness will increase as well. It's kind of nuts. There was a couple of videos that I was watching, which is on AI and artificial intelligence and how people are like developing relationships with artificial intelligence. I'm like, what in the world? That is nuts. But don't be surprised in like the next like 10 years where that turn into like a normal thing. And a lot of people are using AI for a lot of different things to develop their thoughts, to get work done for them. Like, it's pretty crazy. But be careful when using this stuff. Be careful with technology. How's it going? How's it going? Be very, very careful when using this stuff. And the one thing that I was thinking about, and I have been thinking about for a long time now and reflecting on, is that as you get lost in social media and artificial intelligence and technology, you're gonna get lost within yourself. And on here, that's literally the simple goal. The simple goal is you connecting with yourself and living out and serving your purpose until the very end. That is the goal. If you want, this is a freaking free planet. Well, I can say this is a free country. Other places I can't speak for, but you have the choice to do and be whatever you want. But be very, very mindful of what has a hold on you, what has a hold on your mind, and what has a hold on your emotions, because that dictates a lot of your life and what you have going on. And you want to live as natural of a life that you could possibly live as possible. And the only way to live that natural life is from an inward sense and not an outside sense. Because the more you keep buying into the vibes and the direction that social media is going in, you're not going to recognize yourself and you're not going to be able to know who you are. A lot of people are stuck within that right now. How's it going, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. And for later on, if anybody that's just so happened to catch this, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope, as per usual, you are walking in the light of truth and you are seeking your purpose at all costs. Seek your purpose at all costs. Seek the meaning for your life at all costs. And don't let outsiders determine the meaning for your life. That's so hard to do because we haven't been taught that. But another beautiful and freeing thing is that you're not going to learn how to live life from outside of you and it's inside of you. It's literally built inside your DNA of who you are supposed to be when it's all said and done. It is built inside of you. I promise you. I chased a lot of things that was outside of myself and it only left me depleted in the end. And the only thing that I really, really wanted was to truly, truly know that I was living out my purpose. And I wanted happiness. I wanted like wealth. I wanted fame. I wanted all that typical stuff that just it don't make any sense at the end of the day. It's like nuts. It really is nuts. It don't really make sense. There's enough stuff to like drive you crazy. Why do we care so much about what people think of us? Why does other people's opinion matter way more than your own? To the point where you'll live the life of a lie. And what do I mean by living the life of a lie? Because that's something that I talk about all the time on here is that you're willing to live your shadow life and live an example of what people think you should be doing. Or what you think that people should see you as instead of being who you are. And social media is like damaging that like completely right now. Because being exposed to so much on social media, it gives you false ideas of what you think you should be doing in like a time span. Like, I gotta be this age and have this job with this family, with this house, and this car. And never chase material things. Never chase wealth. True wealth comes from inside of you. And everything else that you're going to chase outside of that is going to bring you hell. Hell on earth, I promise you. It will bring you hell on earth. That is a guarantee. Majority of us are experiencing that hell on earth as we speak, and a lot of us went out of it. And speaking of out of it, went out of it. There's a like it was kind of nuts. This like the videos that I was like watching yesterday on artificial intelligence and that convincing people to go through the self checkout line. If y'all know what I mean by that, like, dang, this is sad. This is real sad that people get to the point where they are so lonely and they're so depressed that they start talking to an app about how they thinking and feeling, and that app suggesting to them what they should do with their life. And if they are down in the dumps, it'll literally talk them over the edge and make it them going through the self checkout line is okay. That's crazy. That is nuts. And how do you solve that issue? How do you solve that issue of getting people to want to do the real work of getting to know themselves? How? Everybody has purpose in their life. Everybody, like, there's a reason why you're here on this planet Earth. You're meant to fulfill a certain task that no one else can fulfill. That's why you're here. And don't let other people determine your worth in regards to that. You're here to fulfill a certain task that nobody else can do. That's why you're here. That's literally why you're here. And it's natural for you to have that mission. It's unnatural for you to not have that mission, and it's very unnatural that mission that you came here to do. And your soul knows what that mission actually is. And the soul is the vessel for your spirit, just like your body is the vessel for your soul and your spirit. They all coincide with each other. I can't stress this enough. By you being silent within yourself, all of these truths it will hit you. But you have to unlearn and relearn. You have to forget everything that you thought you knew in order for the light to actually hit you. That's the only way. That is the only way. Everything has a natural order to it. And the direction that we going in, we clearly going in towards an unnatural direction. What we experiencing right now in life is so unnatural, it's not even funny. And we experiencing a breakdown. And it's happening rapidly, and it's happening every single day. We experiencing a breakdown like more than ever, which means that change is like upon us, and a shift is upon us. Heavy, 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 heavy. So with that being said, this is also a great opportunity for you, because you're a part of that change. Now, do you want to be a part of society building towards the truth and building upon God's foundation, or do you want to be a part of it, that other foundation breaking down and you building towards collapse and destroying what God is natural? Because no matter what, that's the choice that we're in between right now. And if you open up your eyes, it'd be as clear as day that these are the choices that's before us. There's a heaviness in the air right now. This heaviness is so bad that it make people not want to do anything, and it make people not want to sleep. I mean, want to sleep all day and not get to it. And they talk about spiritually being like awakened and being asleep, but think about it. People are really feeling this heaviness so bad that they're too tired to do anything, and they'll sleep all day. This is real. And we call that depression. But like I said, this is a spiritual warfare that we in the middle of. So these are like entities that you're battling within yourself. If this is somewhat resonating with you, that's what's really going on. We got the spirit of truth versus the spirit of lies. That's what's really going on. The one thing that I've been talking about is wholeness and getting to that center point of your well-being and living from that center point. And it's hard to get there when we are consuming brain rot every single day. It's scrolling every single day, instead of going deep down within ourselves to figure out who we are and what we got to do. Take the time out your day to like do that. Like, seriously, that's so important. That is so important, man. But I was thinking about like all of that stuff. I was like, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, man, Schools, like kids, is going to start learning from artificial intelligence. In fact, I think that it's going to be a certain point in time where that's going to be okay for people to use artificial intelligence and chat GPT, whatever, to develop their ideas, which aren't really their ideas, and to think and be for you. When you have that capability within yourself, that's crazy. Another thing that people should be in fear of is when using artificial intelligence, especially like to make videos, you should be worried about them using your image and likeness for whatever it is that they want to use it for. And people don't think about it because it's all fun and games until something gets serious. It's all fun and games until something gets serious. And take yourself serious. Take yourself serious. Life as we know it, it goes by so fast. Be grateful for the day that you're experiencing right now as we speak. Be so grateful for it. You won't get the day ever again. Whatever day you're watching, it's like right now it's a Sunday, November, whatever, in 2025, and this day won't come about again. I know that for a fact. I know that this day that I'm experiencing is one and done. And the most important thing for me is to be present this whole entire day. This whole entire day. Just be present and do the same thing tomorrow. Even when madness come about, just stay present no matter what. Because there's forces at play that I know that want my demise, just like there's forces at play that want your demise. But if you align with the side of life and align with the spirit of God, there's nothing that could really oppose that and take you out. You're good. And by aligning to that, you're aligning to your purpose and your true calling, which people want more than ever right now. They want to know their true calling. They want to know that there's a reason for them being here, and that this is just not by chance or coincidence, and they just got to go through hell for no reason. This is hell on earth right now. Do something about it. But it starts with an individual first before it makes its way to the collective. It starts with you first. You make that change within yourself, and people will make that change around them if they notice that you're making that change. That's how much power that you hold within you. Be that change. All of this stuff is simple and it sounds cliche, but once you start putting it to practice, it does become difficult. It don't get easier. It get more crazy, and it seriously feels as though that um there's something that do not want you to succeed at whatever it is that you're going for. It's something that don't want you to succeed. And while going through this, you could be even amongst people, but the loneliness will be there, and that's a good thing. A lot of people like they have to be around people to distract themselves from that loneliness, but that loneliness is still there even when they are amongst people. And that loneliness is pulling you towards your purpose. Like I promise you, it's pulling you towards your purpose. That's what that loneliness is doing. And technology is only going to distract you from that loneliness, but that's still that loneliness is going to be in the background. It will be in the background. And people right now, they can't handle that loneliness. But once you sink into silence and you sink into solitude, it's going to allow you to be able to communicate with other people better Because by you knowing what's going on within yourself, you're going to know what's going on within other people, and not necessarily thinking about yourself because you spent time with yourself, like true quality time with yourself. And you don't got to do this all day, every day. That's kind of nuts. We're like social creatures by our nature. But you do need that solitude if you feeling that strong sense of loneliness that everybody's. People are just, they do a real good job at masquerading a problem and hiding it. But it's there. And by you getting to know yourself, you're going to know who's putting on that mask and who's being real. But be real with yourself first. Everything that I'm suggesting to you guys, you just apply it to yourself first before you apply it to anybody and everybody else. Look at yourself first. Take a nice, honest look at yourself. And most likely, because I'm only saying this because I know this from experience myself, you're not going to like what you see at first. You're going to be like, what in the world? I think I'm crazy. I think I'm nuts. And then spend a little bit more time with yourself and go through everything you have to go through with yourself and brace yourself. Be a witness to yourself. And don't identify with the things that are happening outside of you, but also don't identify with the things that's happening inside of you. Do the best that you can to separate yourself from it all, inwardly and outwardly. That's the shortcut to get to your purpose. That is the shortcut. And you're going to see clearly how much you've been lying to yourself and how your feelings been lying to you. And all the things that you took in is forms of darkness that's trying to remove you from the light. But the light is so deep down in your core that once it sees these things and starts to shed light on your thoughts, it starts to shed light on your feelings and shed light on other people, there's something about the darkness that want to go into hiding. The original story in Genesis with Adam and Eve, that's what happened. They tried to hide from the uncreated light, and that's impossible. And the uncreated light, and I'm talking about God, knew what was done and still gave them a chance to tell the truth. And they went about it the same way the serpent went about it, which they tried to avoid telling the truth, and they lacked accountability, and they looked elsewhere instead of themselves. Instead of themselves. And for them not being honest, every last one of them, Adam, Eve, and the serpent received the curse. Starting in the order of who ate how he created man. So he asked Adam, Adam blamed Eve, Eve blamed the serpent. And then the curse went from the serpent to Eve and to Adam. That was the order of everything. But that whole situation was the uncreated light coming and shedding that light on the darkness. And the darkness tried to be dark in its nature, and it didn't work. And they got casted down, and they fell from grace. And they had to leave paradise, which was the Garden of Eden, where everything was made for them. And the Garden of Eden is still out there. And guarded is away. How do you get to the Garden of Eden? You have to first figure out that the Garden of Eden is within yourself. And you also have to take self-initiative and accountability for how you came in a situation that you came to be in. Anybody else. Be fully accountable for you being in the situation that you're in. And a lot of people go through some really, really rough stuff in life, like some really tough, bad stuff that's outside of their control. But using, for example, parents in this case, you have to look at your parents as if they didn't know any better, and you have to forgive them and they most likely wasn't taught the way by their parents. And you also have to forgive your grandparents for them misleading your own parents if you fall in a situation where you experienced hell on earth because of your parents and your family. And forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. And this process is a process of healing, and there's nothing that technology can do about that process for you healing. All the trauma and depression and anxiety and the griminess that the world has put on you. Forgive yourself. Forgive your parents and forgive everybody in your life that ever wronged you, no matter what. And you yourself is you're going to be forgiven. And you're gonna feel light, like literally, spiritually, and all of that. You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel like a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders, but you still got some ways to go, and you still got to carry out in this battle. And for those that's watching and tuning in right now, up until this point, you have to be a spiritual warrior because you are in the middle of warfare. Don't fall victim to any of the because there is a lot, and you have to be able to see, and you have to be able to hear what's going on. They're rocking us to sleep, and we're heading towards a brick wall at lightning speed. We are truly heading towards a brick wall at lightning speed. And they want us to be everything but ourselves. Everything but ourselves. They want us consumed with our 9 to 5 job that we are working. They want us consumed by the trends that's going on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. They want us to be consumed by entertainment, whether that's sports, whether that's movies. They want us consumed by these things because by us being consumed by these things, we are blinded to ourselves. And deep down, when you look at it, these are all aspects of mind control. They really are controlling our mind. And you have to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Something that I stayed on here, you being transformed by the renewing of your mind, you're going to think different thoughts and you're going to have different feelings and you're going to have a totally different way of being because you got a new body, a spiritual body that you're a vessel of your spirit. And yet again, your body is the vessel of your soul. If you guys want to really, really look into this, I suggest that you read the 52nd homily by Saint Isaac the Syrian and really, really look that over because those were very, very deep, profound words by Saint Isaac the Syrian, a highly blessed man, a man of God, for sure. And everybody has an effect on anything and everybody throughout human history. Because by even me mentioning somebody like that, he was alive during like the 5th century. And we're living in the 21st century. And like 1500 plus years later, I'm affected by the words that he wrote down and the life that he lived. It's almost like gravity and the objects within it, like every object in the universe affects each other, no matter how small and how great as an effect. It keeps objects together, but it also pushes it away. And we're like that towards each other as well as a human race from the beginning of time all the way up into this point. And what you're doing now is going to affect the next generation. It's going to affect the people tomorrow, and the people in the past already had an effect on you, whether you know it or not. That's just the laws of nature. and you have to live by the laws of nature. Don't live by the laws of something artificial. Do not live by the laws of something artificial. Be as natural as you can possibly be, and that's only going to come from inside of you. It's an innate feeling. It's not going to come outside of you, for sure. Serve your purpose, people. Serve your purpose. That's all I have for y'all today. God bless y'all. Yet again, it's been another real one. And if you would like to hear more from me, um, download the Purpose Serve the podcast. We 100 plus episodes in. We just had a special guest, Bill Goodwin, on the last podcast. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to email me at servedpurpose@gmail.com. The goal is simple: to take action towards their dreams and aspirations. And I'm out here. Much love, people. Take it easy.